Good morning, everyone. I'm Arvind, the Department of Mechanical Engineering, roll number 1902003. Today, I'm going to take a seminar about shaping machines. So, we'll start. First, the shaper was first developed in the year 1836 by James Nasmyth, an Englishman. Shaper is generally used for machining flat surface in horizontal, vertical, and angular direction. It can also be used for machining convex and concave curved surface. The actual surface generated is by means of linear motion of cutting tool. The feed rate and the depth of cut are also are so arranged that the resultant surface is a flat surface. Next, this is just to give an overview about parts of shaper machines. So the major parts includes the base, column, and clapper box, table, and the ram locking handle. So I'll be explaining each of it in detail. Now the first one is the base. So the base provides the stability for the shaper as it supports all other equipments present as well as absorbs the force coming due to the cutting. It is generally made of grey cast iron and has the necessary arrangement of bolts so that it can be bolted to factory floors with proper leveling. Next one is the housing, or also called as column. The housing is a box-like structure to provide necessary rigidity and also houses all the motors and power transmission equipments. On top of the housing, the necessary guideways are provided for the linear motion of the ram for the cutting stroke. Ram. So ram is a part of shaper that provides the reciprocating motion for the cutting tool. Ram gets the motion directly from the quick return mechanism present in the housing, and I'll be explaining about it in later slides. Next is the tool head, or also known as clapper box. So as you can see in the picture, here is where the clapper box is present. The single point cutting tool is clamped in the tool head. The tool head has the ability to swivel the cutting tool at any angle while clamping the tool with any overhang depending on the requirement. The swiveling ability is important for the tool to machine surface that are not in horizontal plane. Further, the tool should be firmly supported during the forward motion to carry out material removal. During the return stroke, the cutting tool will not do the cutting and hence there will be idle stroke. It is because if the tool is held firmly as in the cutting stroke, then the tool will rub the already machined surface of the workpiece, and also the flank surface of the tool will wear out quickly. To reduce this, the tool is lifted during the return stroke by the help of clapper box. Next is the table. So a heavy table is present in front end of the shaper, and the table is provided with a T-shaped slots for mounting the workpiece or work holding fixtures. The table can be moved up and down along the guideways provided on the cross rail attached to the housing. To know about the working principle of shaper machine, there is certain mechanisms that we have to understand. So during the forward motion of the tool, cutting is performed, and while the return stroke, the tool will be simply sliding and there won't be any contact between the tool and workpiece. So it is necessary to reduce the idle time of machine to make the return stroke faster compared to the forward stroke. For that, one typical mechanism used is quick return mechanism. So I'll be explaining in detail about the mechanism. Before that, there is an alternative method known as geared shaper, where one or two racks are fixed on underside of the ram. The rotary motion from the motor is converted by the rack pinion arrangement through appropriate belting and idling pulleys. So as I said, this is a schematic diagram of quick return mechanism. So first, yeah. So this is the bull gear, which is controlled by the motor that is present in the column. So when the RPM of this bull gear is controlled by the motor. Now, as you can see, there is a pin attached to this bull gear. So when the gear rotates, there is a circular motion of this pin. Also, this pin is placed in between the slot of the rocker arm. So this is rocker arm, and this slot is there. So there is a linear motion of this pin here. Now, if the gear rotates, the rocker arm oscillates about its pivot point. Also, at the end of the rocker arm, it is connected to the ram through a linked arm. So the length of this stroke, that is the ram stroke, can be changed by changing the radius of the circle in which the pin rotates. The length of the travel should be a little longer than the actual length of the workpiece. This allows sufficient time for the tool block of the clapper box to swing back to its position for cutting. Now, the cutting speed continuously varies through the entire rotation of the bull gear. Also, the return stroke has a higher velocity while the forward stroke has lower velocity. Next. So another mechanism involved in this shaper machine is mechanical feed drive. So automatic feeding of the cutting tool at the end of the cutting stroke is obtained by moving the feed screw through part of the revolution. The feed screw is engaged by a bevel that sits in a notched wheel attached to the feed screw. The bevel operates once for each of the rotation of the bull gear. During one revolution of the bull gear, the oscillating motion of the bevel carrier moves the bevel forward and back by one or more teeth depending on the feed rate that was set. The oscillating motion is generally obtained by means of a crank pin arranged to make one cycle per revolution of the bull gear. The feed is normally given during the return stroke, and the amount of feed is controlled by the number of teeth in notched wheel that was moved during the return stroke. So as of now we have discussed the standard mechanical shapers. There are also other type of shapers. The first one is universal shaper. So it is similar to mechanical shaper but has a table that can be tilted about an axis parallel or perpendicular to the runways. Also the draw cut shaper is similar to mechanical shaper but it is built much heavier. So the heavier construction helps it to take up deeper cuts without any chatter. The vertical shaper is similar to a slaughter in action and also often used interchangeably. The vertical shaper is developed for toolroom works. The stroke of the ram is generally limited below 300 mm. The main difference between the two is that while the slaughter allows for vertical motion, the vertical shaper has the ability to adjust the ram in the vertical position about 15 degrees from the vertical. This will help in cutting this will help in cutting with the proper clearance in the tool and dies. So next comes the shaper tools and work holding device. About tools, there are a large variety of single point cutting tools with various approach and edge geometries can be used in shaper. The main difference is that the clearance angle required will have to be properly grounded into the tool, as there is a adjustment possible in the shaper's clapper box arrangement. Since the cutting speed used are relatively low, HSS, that is a high speed steel, is most widely used cutting tool material for shaper tools. The workpiece, which are small, are normally held in a vise fixed to the shaper table. Some other work holding arrangements such as the angle plates, strap clamps and the support elements can also be used. The use depends upon the workpiece and the geometry to be generated. Thank you.